Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz. It is October 12th, 2017. It is 1:15 a.m. in Birmingham, and the topic is what I've been trying to say for years and years, and really got hot on the topic back when Obama signed Agenda 21 for the Pope and the UN. You recall that. That was, 3 years ago. But here, finally, is an article that will tell you what will happen to not just America, but any country who falls into this category. Here it is. This is Prophecy Update. Came out on October 10, and it's Anarchy, Disaster, and America is the title. Really interesting article that you might want to read. And it is obvious that anarchists and the havoc they're causing are having a negative impact upon this country, America, our country. Their motive is typical of anarchists. They want what they call complete freedom in life. And please understand, I'm reading right off the screen because it's going to turn around and contradict what it just said. They want a society where there are no rules for living and no accountability for their actions. Many anarchists claim that no one should have an abundance of anything, and that all things should be equally divided among all people. They just said a moment ago, a society where there's no rules for living and no accountability, but yet now they're attacking those who have something. At least I want part of what you have without earning it. Anyway, this is why they're prize targets for those wanting to impose socialism or communism upon a free market society. They're already leaning in that direction. And again, going back, and this for a long time, but going back when Obama signed Agenda 21, that was almost the nail in the coffin until God brought Trump on the scene. Believe it or not, he's there for a reason. All of this is obvious, but what is missing is the real reason behind it all. And that is because the reason is spiritual in nature. And we can be assured that American society will never invite spiritual cause and effect into the arena of a public debate on this issue. Time and time again, Christian apologists have attempted to explain virtual or spiritual cause and effect again to be secularist. But they are clueless as a wild boar hearing the Beethoven's Fifth. In 1 Corinthians 2:14 explains this disconnect. But a man, this is a natural man, does not accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness to him, and he cannot understand them because they are spiritually apprised. If a man doesn't understand it, then he leaves it. In the context, in this situation, in our country, a distinction must be made between motive and reason. Motive is personal. It is the internally held worldview behind a person's conduct. But reason is different because it is rooted in an external influence that is often unknown to those involved. This is what I've been screaming. There's an objective behind what's going on today with the liberal left, the establishment, and the Democratic establishment. That is, again, the reason is different because it is rooted in an external influence that is often unknown to those involved, even those who are doing the influencing. Satan is orchestrating this present turmoil with this country, but a growing percentage of Americans would never admit this because the existence of an evil spirit being who would enable and exploit destructive behavior is foreign to their thinking. It's not understanding what God tells us in His Word. And that is just fine with Satan as long as his goal of lawlessness is reached. And that is a real situation or ideal situation for the introduction of a man, of his man, of lawlessness, a man whom the Bible calls the Antichrist. That's what I've been trying to say for years. Human conduct is always the result of influence. In his base statement, the natural man is influenced by his Adamic nature to often act like a child. That is, he wants it when he wants, whether he earned it or not, but he wants it now. And we hear this. We hear this today. Excuse me. He is always looking for something free, no matter the cost to others. Though all things are created by influences that have no cost associated with them, anarchists do not care about such cost as long as it's not costing them. The result of anarchy and socialism is mass, across the board poverty means nothing to those making such demands. And though Satan exploits this to no end, it matters not a whit to him if anarchists are irrational. The only thing of importance to him, Satan, is that the inherent lawlessness in such movements, for this is the kind of social condition that brings panic, usually followed by the rise of a charismatic liberator. Somebody that my God, we finally got somebody here that can eat all of us. Well, that's what he wants you to do. Pick somebody that he chose, not that you chose, but somebody that he chose. And make no beans about it. It's biblical. That liberator, that charismatic liberator, that guy that everybody fell in love with, will be the Antichrist. When you see both sides agree on one man, you know then that you're in trouble, if you're even thinking that line. At this point, it is important to make something very clear. As American Christians, we're mostly tuned into what is happening in our own country, into our own country. But we must not lose sight of the fact that biblical prophecy was not written in context of the North American continent. What we're seeing in our country has already happened in other places with many successes for Satan. Please think about that. Presently, it seems that our country is just one of the final dominoes that must fall completely or be sufficiently damaged to the point of being impotent in worldwide affairs. This will expedite Satan's global efforts almost immediately upon this fall. And guys, this goes on and on. I mean, what I've been trying to say for a long time, Agenda 21, when we turn all this over to the Pope and to the UN, we are beyond socialists. We have just taken the step into communism. And then all these things, they're gone. All you people that sat there and pouted like a child, want it now, and all you that wants freedom, no rules, but yet take from him because he's rich and give it to us so that he can be like us. Well, maybe he doesn't want to be like you. Maybe he wants to be like him, like his, and earn it the hard way or the right way, which is the hard way. But last example, and you all have heard this one. A girl comes off of school. She's in college, first year, and she made her daddy so proud. And he's sitting there looking at all her A's. She said, "By the way, Dad, We have a class they're going to teach socialism, and it's something that they're pushing on us and have been for some time. Can you tell me exactly what that means? He said, yeah. He said, how's your friend Beth doing? Oh, Beth, she's doing great, but she got a bunch of C's and, she didn't do as well as I did. He said, honey, won't you take some of your A's and give them to Beth? And that way, both of you will have B's across the board. She said, Dad, I worked my butt off. And Beth, she partied every night. I don't want to just give her something she didn't earn. He said, honey, that is socialism. Guys, that is socialism. We don't want to go there, but it's coming to us, and it will be here the moment the church is taken out. Jody Wolf Expoz.